Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 United in Stormwind legendary quests. I'm Von Maxon, and as my German ancestors would say, Buenos Dias. Alright, this is purely speculative. I'm, judging this based off of what I've seen. I've watched some of the theory crafting streams. I don't think that those are really a good litmus test for how well these cards will perform. So there's just so many factors, but predictions to me are fun, if not unholy. In case you're curious, Dante and his Inferno carved a special place out in hell for those who predicted the future. I think they were in the 8th circle. Which is good. You're not down in the 9th circle, getting eaten by Satan, flapping his wings, frozen, fetid waters. Unpleasant. Alright, without further ado, let's get right into it. This is going to make a lot of people sad, but at number 10 I have the Mage quest. To get this thing done, you have to cast 9 different spells. Each step of the quest line requires you to cast a Fire, Frost, and Arcane spell, and while I don't think that's difficult, Mage has so many cheap spells and ways to discover spells, and you're drawing a spell and discovering a spell as you go through this quest line. The reward, plus 3 spell damage for the rest of the game. I feel like at the point that you get this quest online, what do you have left? What sort of burn are you keeping in your deck to go along with your small cards to get the quest online? I just don't see this working. Alright, this one breaks my heart, but at number 9, I have the Priest quest, Seek Guidance. I watched Regis play a N'Zoth Priest with this, which I thought was pretty cool. I think N'Zoth Priest can be pretty good, especially with that new A-cost demon. But realistically, this quest line, because for the first part you got to play a 2-3-4, for the second part you got to play a 5-6, and then the last part you got to play a 7-8. And so that's best case scenario, that you just play perfectly on curve. I just don't see that happening. It really inhibits what Priest is good at, which is discovering spells, reducing the cost of spells in your hand, and reacting to what you currently need. This quest is the antithesis of that. I think it's going to take 10 to 15 turns to get this thing online. And then you got to draw it. It may prove to be good if there's a real slow control-like meta happening, which is possible. All these quests are slow, which should dramatically slow the game down. And if that's the case, then this quest could be much better than it is. But otherwise, I don't think it's worth it. Alright, coming in at number 8, I have the Paladin quest. This one seems good. This one seems easy to accomplish. It also seems easy to run out of stuff in your hand. It also seems easy to have a handful of 1-cost cards that do nothing against your opponent. So yeah, what's the endgame goal here? Your hero power summons 2 3/3 minions. Don't have rush, don't have taunt, don't have any sort of reaction abilities. So I feel like this deck could easily get overwhelmed. And that's why I'm putting it at number 7. And that's why I'm putting it at number 8. Alright, at number 7, I really hope I'm wrong about this, but I have Raid the Docks, the warrior quest. Part of me wants this to go into a control warrior deck. That just doesn't seem viable whatsoever. But that's what the reward is. The Juggernaut is a control card. It gives you a weapon that you can use that turn. It deals damage, which happens that turn, but also summons a pirate that does nothing that turn. The best case scenario I've seen is there's the rush minion, the 4/5 rush. There's also the amalgam 4/5 taunt that you could get. This plays a long game though, and as a tempo deck, you don't want to play a long game. So I feel like this works against itself, and for that reason, it's number 7. Alright, number 6, I put the final showdown, the Demon Hunter quest. This was tricky. This was real tricky. This quest could be number 1, or it could be number 10. And for that reason, and I think those are the only 2 choices. I think this will be either the best or the worst quest. And for that reason, I'm putting it at number 6, because I just don't know. Could this work with Cthulhu? Could this work with OTK? Potentially. I don't have the patience to figure it out. I don't think I'll be playing this. But I have a feeling that someone out there will crack this, and this could be out of control, screaming for nerfs in 2 weeks. Or it could be utter trash. Or there could be a fun little Cthulhu deck. And if that's the case, then I suppose it deserves where it currently is, which is at the number 6 slot. Alright, in the number 5 slot, I have the Hunter quest. I think a lot of people are going to think this is better than it actually is. This is the problem I see with this quest, is that in order for it to work well, you need to fill your deck with small spells, right? There is a current deck that does this. A Spell Hunter, has a lot of small spells, but it slows Hunter way down because you're removing all your minions. You're removing all your early aggro tools in order to have late aggro. Now, do I think this quest is trash? No. I think this quest will win a lot of games. I think people won't know how to react to it. I think it'll be wildly popular. And I think you're going to see a lot of hunters who run out of cards. And for these reasons, it's staying at the number 5 slot. Number 4, Lost in the Park, the Druid quest. I feel kind of bad because I feel like this should maybe be higher. But we're going to keep it at number 4. I think this quest is definitely going to be underrated. People are going to look at it and look at the rewards and say, it's not that cool. It's not that impactful. I just don't think that's the case. I think that this could fit into another number of different deck archetypes. I think Spell Druid could work out. Some sort of small aggro minion based deck could work out. I think that could potentially be oppressive. This quest may not be very popular, and people may underrate it. And for that reason, that's why I'm not putting it at number 1. We're going to stick it at number 4. Number 3, I have the Rogue quest, Find the Imposter. This is a tricky one because I think that this quest and these decks are going to be hard to play. That the skill level is going to be pretty high on these, like it normally is for Rogue. And you're going to see a lot of people just falling on their face with this deck. I think the Gizmo cards are amazing, if not situational. The SI7 cards are good to great. So I think in the right hands that this quest could be tremendously overpowered. In the wrong hands, this is mid-ranged at best. And for that reason, we're going to stick it at number 3. All right, number 2, I have the Shaman quest, Command the Elements. Most streamers, YouTubers that I'm seeing are placing this quest pretty high. They're placing it as number 1. It seems pretty powerful. I don't know. This one's just a big mystery for me. It looks really strong. It needs to survive the early game, and I don't know if it can. If it can get to the late game and then it can burn the opponent down, then it becomes strong. So I'm really feeling bad putting this at number 2. And maybe this is a little bit of groupthink where everybody is overrating this card. I have a feeling that I may be wrong on this one. I have a feeling that this card may not be as good as people think it is. But regardless, I'm still keeping it at the number 2 slot. All right, finally, number 1, I'm putting the Warlock quest on here. I think that this card is exactly what Warlock's been looking for, and they gave us a number of different tools. I will admit that Warlock is my favorite class to play, so when I look at this card, I see so many different deck types that can be made. I see the Delete Warlock with heavy control working really well with this. I see a tempo deck using Flame Imp, Hecklefane Hyena. That's a 2/4 beast that deals 3 damage to your hero. Knife Vendor, and the new 2 mana 2/5 Bloodbound Imp. I see those 3 cards flooding the board, dealing damage to yourself, plus everything else that deals damage. Backfire, just tapping, that nasty unstable Shadow Blast, and then Raise Dead. Bring them all back and do it all over again. And then the finisher, Knife Vendor. There's a number of finishers, actually. You can run out of cards, and this would be more your delete deck style. You just run out of cards and start drawing, and fatigue your opponent to death. But I also see like Knife Vendor. Knife Vendor does 4 damage to each hero. So that's 4 mana, deal 8 to your opponent's face. Okay? You have 2 of those. At the end of the game, you play that. That's 16 burst damage. I don't see people playing that because it's boring, perhaps. It's not flashy. But dealing 16 damage on turn 9 or 10, it feels flashy to me. I think this deck is just going to murder people. I hope it's not oppressive, because I feel like if there's anything that's going to get a nerf, it's going to be this card, or if we go back to my number 6 choice, the Demon Hunter quest could get nerfed. So there you have it. There are my top 10 United in Stormwind legendary quests. Throw down in the comments where you think I'm wrong or you think I'm right. In a month from now, maybe 3 weeks from now, I'll do a video of a reaction video to this video and see where I was right and wrong. At the end of this video, I'm including a list my son did. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you're notified when future videos come out.